Back to the featherweight division. Daddy's home. We're talking about Volkanovski stepping into the UFC 290. And he's going to be up against Yair Rodríguez, trying to claim back what is actually his already. He's going to be dethroning the interim champ in this upcoming fight this weekend. And Ash and I are going to be running you through exactly what's going to happen on the main card from the start to the stop. Now, we both last saw these guys. What was this? Back at UFC 284. So this was... This was his attempt on taking someone else's territory in the lightweight division. Didn't go his way, but it did go for Yair.
Yeah, some say that obviously Volkanovski did beat Islam, but again, it was a very, very close contested bout, and people are obviously very impressed with Volkanovski's performance. But yeah, like you said a second ago, back down to featherweight, defend his belt maybe once or twice, and then I think he'd try and go back up again to lightweight. But yeah. Rodríguez, he's impressed me.
Not until Charles Oliveira has another go.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you see how things may change when it comes around. It could be difficult. Different terrains then. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Sai. This is Ash. We are here at the ATF Against the Fence, and we're going to be giving you the full rundown of UFC 290. Volkanovski versus Rodríguez. Quick one before we get into it, Ash.
Yes, go on.
This card is pretty decent, right? We had a few mixing changes. It started off Bo Nickal, Trajan Gore. He's not fighting anymore. That rhymes, but I'm just going to end it at that.
Yeah, even in the prelims, obviously, we had Jack Della Maddalena. We did have him taking on Sean Brady, and obviously Sean Brady pulling out. So, but yeah, it's still a great main card. Obviously, the hype with Bo Nickal is still there, and Val Woodburn taking Trajan Gore's place again. Could the stars align, and could he shock the world?
We'll get to it in a second, but what's your most exciting fight on the card at this point in time? Outside of the main event, outside of the main
event, the co-main event, just because I have such high hopes for Pantoja. He's already beaten Moreno, and he's an absolute killer at the moment. So
it's quite a story as well, isn't it? It's quite a story, you know. He's the boogeyman. I feel like in every movie you got a superhero. Wherever there's a superhero, wherever there's like a protagonist, there's a supervillain, you know, or like a bogeyman. And it's just one of those things, you know. Moreno was Figueiredo's boogeyman, and Pantoja is Moreno's boogeyman. You know,
same with Alex Perez's disease.
Yeah, he is. But you know, the good guy always prevails, and then the story is he was a good guy. I don't know who's a good guy in this one. Who's a good guy in this one?
I don't know, but Nolan Zebra's in house. Welcome in, Nolan.
What's up, Nolan? Thanks for dropping in, man. Good to see you, bro.
Paul's welcome in, Psycho Paul.
Yes, good to see you, bro. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by.
See, as I slowed down the Jack Della Maddalena pronunciation, Psycho Paul's impressed with me. It's because I slow it down. If I do it too quickly, then I'm all over the gaff. But yeah, if I slow it down, I'm all over it.
We'll have to start a game pretty soon, just to, see how many names on a fight card Ash can pronounce right. And we can all get a bet in beforehand. Yeah, just see.
That could be a good game, actually. We should put that out. How many? You and JK throw names at me, and I'll be like, Dave. Go with Dave.
Just like
so let's get this. Go for the fight card.
Yeah, that's good. Where do you want to start? Should the top or go bottom? Bottom up.
We'll start with the main event. We do that one.
Top down. You sure? Last time Jake and I went from bottom up. We can do the main one. Yeah, top one.
Yeah, it's our turn.
All right.
The real way.
We're staring right down the barrel of the big attraction itself: Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodríguez. Now here it goes, right? We got 25-2 in the red corner. That's Alexander Volkanovski coming back to claim what is rightfully his, and he's been doing so well so far to this very point. And then you got 16-3-0 for Yair Rodríguez, who is currently the interim champion of the division. Now, if you're looking at where the advantages lie here, just on paper, before we get into the breakdown, you can't ignore that height advantage for Yair. He's 5'11" to Alex Volkanovski's 5'6",
or 6.
5'6". I mean, he's Volk is small, but at the same time, let's not forget he's put away people bigger than him before.
He's an absolute beast.
Yeah. You know, it almost works for him in terms of being able to find the hips and just sort of fall into that sort of wrestling side as well. So you know, and another number that's going to be significant here that we cannot ignore is that leg reach one right down there at the bottom. 36 inches for Alex Volkanovski and a huge 41.5 inches for Yair Rodríguez. And I think that's going to pay huge dividends in this particular fight matchup, just given the style of Rodríguez. But real quickly, Ash, how do you think this is going to go? Is it going to be a stand-up affair? Is Volk going to have his way? Just give me some color on what you reckon is going to happen.
Yeah, 1,000%. I just see it similar to when Max fought Yair Rodriguez, I think the Volk's going to try and outland Rodriguez, and he's going to be. And this is the thing: the speed is going to be very crucial when we get the gauges up in a minute. I really don't know who I'm going to go for speed because obviously Volk's quick, but then Rodriguez is quick, and obviously we all know the kicking game of Rodriguez is just superb. So it's obviously like you said, the height difference as well, the reach difference. Rodriguez, Volkanovski's got to get in there, and we also saw how Josh Emmett struggled to get in range and land his shots. But I'm not comparing obviously Volk and Josh Emmett. I just ability wise, obviously Volk's up there. I just mean Volk does need to get in there.
We can say this for sure. If it hits the ground, it is Volkanovski's fight all day long. You know, he can control that and do what he likes.
100%, yes.
But can we say, if it remains standing, that Yair Rodriguez is going to have his way and do what he likes?
I don't know, though, because it's one of them things. I still think Volk's just on another level to all of these other featherweights.
Still. Yeah, he's got a way of getting into range. He does. He sort of brings out that initial jab of yours or your initial strike, and he's able to sort of throw combinations that really get through the guard.
Yes.
And it's just putting 2-3 more on the end of it, which is just
100. Yeah, exactly. And obviously we all saw the technical bout. Obviously we've seen Volkanovski and Max. Every time that like Volkanovski would land his combination, he would always put more on the end of that. Even the end of that five shot combo, he'd still put more on the end of it.
Here it is, yeah. And, you know, I guess if you are Yair Rodriguez, what you absolutely want to be doing is using your long-range weapons more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
You literally want to be kicking, using those teep kicks. I think what could be valuable for Yair is those flying knees, because Volkanovski's power does come from him ducking that head and throwing that wing and overhand right and left. Like, he really puts his body into it, but he has to duck his head first in order to sort of get him that sort of motion and swing. And that is where the flying knees from Yair are just going to come into their own. We could see something devastating, but question: when was the last time we've seen Volkanovski compromise, like hitting the chin and wobbled?
He did drop to a knee in the Islam fight, but he wasn't. He wasn't wobbled. He did drop to a knee, but he wasn't wobbled at all. Or I didn't see him like really hurt.
He still pushed forward, didn't he?
Max's head kick did drop him to one knee as well. But again, I didn't see him sort of wobbled in any danger.
Yeah,
it's just that championship mindset of Volkanovski. Obviously, we keep talking about the X factor whenever we get to the gauges. That is Volkanovski's X factor. He's got that championship mindset.
He's an animal. He's an animal.
It's just it's a joy to watch him fight. Honestly.
Yeah, it's true. Talk about gauges. Let's get it up real quick and see if you've got any chats there while I do.
Yeah. Nolan Zebra says the main event should be a banger. Probably Volk's most dangerous scrap at 145. Hey. Yeah, 100%. But it's 100%. Obviously, it's a new test. It's and like what Rodriguez said during the embedded series, which I saw, which we put out was one of our quotes.
Yeah,
you all think you know how Rodriguez is going to fight with a kicking game and things like that. You can all sort of see how he fights, but then when you're in there with him, then you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly that. And I think it's ridiculously dangerous, that kicking game. It really is. And I'm just wondering whether Volkanovski's actually been against someone with as lethal kicks as Yair. I mean, not to say that there is someone with lethal kicks like Yair. He's very one that kind of knows how to do his skill set. But yeah, I think that's it. Could be an interesting one for him. Striking. Let's have a look at that. Who's going to get a striking advantage in this? Do you think between the two of these guys? And let's take into consideration the different variations of how you can strike.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and it's a tough one, and I don't want to get myself in any kind of trouble here because obviously Volkanovski striking is on another level.
Yeah.
But then when you're taking it into account, I know Volk throws kicks, but he just throws kicks for pointers. We all saw it was point kicking in the Max fight, just to obviously, like I said a second ago, put in just a standpoint on the end of his combos. That's what he will use his kicks for. But Rodriguez uses his kicks to either finish you or set something bigger up if you get where I'm coming from. So
and he throws his kicks like their hands, you know, the combinations he's got in them too.
And that's what I mean. And he's improved so much. And I don't know whether to lean towards Rodriguez or do I stick with my gut and stay with Volkanovski. But
I would go striking for Rodriguez to give grappling and power to Volk. But ultimately, you got to think about, out of all of those things, what's Rodriguez going to have in this fight? I think he's not going to have striking would really be
just that, like, obviously everyone calls Max Holloway a great striker and probably the best striker. I know that they may say boxing wise, but and obviously Alexandre Volkanovski will outstrike most
I think that was
featherweights.
acceptable to say
So
at once upon a time, and then
yeah,
you get proven wrong in certain fights, and that sort of claim can change in a night.
yeah.
Maybe it was, but you got schooled by
Mm.
another guy who
I'm
now
I'm
evidently is better.
I'm still slightly going for Volkanovski, but
And
I
strike
wouldn't be
him.
annoyed if you go for Rodriguez just
I
because,
would
like you
I would
said.
go Rodriguez in this one, and I might overrule just in this particular point quite strongly, just because of the variety of striking that's there. Not to say it's not dangerous from Volkanovski, but also what I'm thinking about is who's going to be using this particular
Yeah,
stuff to win the fight. And it's
yeah.
going to be Rodriguez who's going to be using the striking to his advantage
Mhm.
as much as possible to win this fight, more so than Volkanovski. I think he might
Yeah.
end up leaning on grappling more so in order to win this
Yeah,
fight.
and you speaking of grappling, let's just touch on to that a little bit because I
Mm.
think obviously we all saw in Volkanovski's last fight, everyone thought that Islam was going to absolutely dominate Volkanovski in the grappling, in the wrestling, and Volk held his own.
He did.
And I think obviously, if not that Volk will ever get unscathed or hurt or be in a trouble on the feet against someone like Rodriguez, he can just use that and mix in his wrestling,
Yeah.
and he would absolutely dominate Rodriguez in them
Yeah.
exchanges. And I
He
think
can.
if he wants to take it down and absolutely dominate him on the mat, he will.
Yeah, he can take rounds as well. He can
Yeah,
take rounds with that for sure. But he's just an experienced fighter as well, very much so.
yeah,
Volkanovski and power. I think we'd have to go to Volkanovski
yeah.
with that one as
Volkanovski as
well.
well. Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
And then we've got speed. Who gets speed?
Again, they're both quick, and
They
this
are
is
both
where
fast.
I don't want to get myself in any kind
It's
of trouble as
tricky.
well, just because it is obviously we all know Volkanovski's quick. We all know Rodriguez is quick because obviously the kicking game of Rodriguez, he gets them kicks up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Then Rodriguez, then Volkanovski and his combinations, he's just so quick. Just
This is true. This is true. I might give it to both of them to be fair, because it is tricky to go because they're both very rapid. And you know what it was as well? In that last fight with Max Holloway, Max was supposed to be the faster one, the striking and advantage and all of that.
yes,
But it was Volkanovski that really showed. But also, Volkanovski was talking to Max in that fight, and he was like, I'm too fast for him, baby, is what he was saying. I'm too fast for him. And that's also some kind of mental warfare, let's be honest. It's, that kind of thing could really fight. He's fighting on different levels. He's not just fighting with the hands, he's fighting mentally too, which was really clever for his part. But he did show it as well. And eventually, the commentators were thinking, and I was thinking the same thing, like ultimately, it's like, yeah, Max does look a bit slow. What's going on? He's usually faster than this.
yeah. It's just
So
again, the Volkanovski could put the pressure on, and Rodriguez could wilt under that pressure. I know that people may get annoyed with what I'm about to say, but use the Frank Kicker tactic. Take Rodriguez down, smother him, and we all saw how that went. And obviously, Frankie got the old TKO finish on Rodriguez.
he certainly got the IQ for it. Yeah, I mean,
If Volkanovski wants to take him down and smother him, that's what he's got to do. But I'm not saying he can't win it on the feet because he probably can. But it's there if he needs it.
It's a tough one. And if we get to cardio, who gets cardio?
Oh, it's Volkanovski all day.
Yeah, the guy's a tank machine. But also, Yair's... No, he gets gas at times.
I have seen him tired. I've never, ever seen Volkanovski tired. Like, even in that Islam fight, he's laughing at Islam. Like, he's just an animal. And then if you want to give an X Factor, you give the X Factor to Volkanovski with that championship mindset. But then again, to be fair, Rodriguez in his last fight, he did have a good mindset coming in. But obviously, you can't stop Volkanovski's mindset, though.
No, that's so true. That's so true. Absolute dog. And and also fighter IQ wise, it's just building experience. There's a lot of things
exactly.
Okay, well, there's the gauges. It suggests it goes to the red corner with Volkanovski. But what's your thoughts on this? Do you reckon that Yair's got something or enough to sort of...
No, obviously, I know sometimes with the gauges, you've got to be kind of fair and things like that. So obviously, again, if you think that if Volkanovski does get the striking, let us know in the chat. I'm going Volkanovski all the way on this one.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Yair is going to have some success, a lot of success in the fight. And I feel like Volkanovski is going to be rolling with the punches. But I reckon that with Volkanovski's determination, it's just going to go Yair, and then he's going to overtake, and he's just going to take over. And I think it's going to probably look a little bit like that if I was to do a bit of a visual representation of how I think the fight's going to go. Yair's going to look great, and then Volkanovski's just going to be a little bit too much for him. A, in the grappling, or B, just sort of catch him on his counters. But okay, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have a look at what's up next?
Yeah, I'm going to get to a couple of chats and you get them up. Sucker Paul says, hard to see Yair troubling Volk. Not been easy to see a lot of improvements since the Holloway fight. Nolan Zebra says, I think it's explosiveness that's a danger for Volk.
Yeah.
I'm backing Volk to win though.
Okay. All right. So he's on Volk's side for this one.
Yes.
Yeah. Same. Much the same. Okay. Next up, we have Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja.
Yes.
So red corner, we got 21-6-2, and then we have a record of 24-5-5 for the blue corner, Alexandre Pantoja. If we're looking now down the biggest advantages here, Moreno's going to be slightly taller, not huge, and the reach advantage is going to be in his favor as well by about 3 inches. And as you know, that's incredibly significant. Don't let her tell you otherwise. And yeah, look, fundamentally, I don't know. Every single one of their fights has been an absolute war. It's just been from the first one that we saw them. First time we saw these guys out, I was just smitten by the chemistry that they had going on in the octagon. You know, the way that they would just piece each other up and really sort of brought the best out of each other. It was brilliant. It was really good. You know, if you go back and watch that first fight, you know what? Moreno had that first round all day long. You know, and it was just silly mistakes in the second. Pantoja had his way with him, and you know, overtook him from that point. And then you look at the second fight, and Pantoja was just so much better. I mean, Moreno could stop him from finding the back, which was great. But Pantoja was just he just knew his rhythm. He was able to sort of hit Moreno when he came into range constantly, all the time. And Moreno was not fighting his fight. So both these guys are good, and they've improved so much over the years. I generally just think this is probably going to be something that's going to come down to who can last the longest in. I mean, if it goes to the ground, then it's just like, can Pantoja outlast the scrambles of Moreno enough to submit him? And if it's standing, you know, Moreno's power is going to come in. He's just going to fight his own fight, Moreno.
Yeah.
Like he did against Figgy.
Himself.
Yeah, against Figgy, he was he fought his own fight. He wasn't at all bothered or worried by the crowd that was cheering on everything that Figgy did. And ultimately, he made the fight his own. But in the last fight he had against Pantoja, he got suckered into Pantoja's fight. And look, I really feel like the Moreno that we saw against Figgy can beat this Pantoja. But I don't know, something about staring your past failures in the face can really sort of.
To be fair, they've both improved. They keep improving each time they fought. Obviously, Brandon Moreno is so much better than when they fought the second time, and same with Pantoja. Pantoja is better than they fought the second time as well. So it's going to be a great back and forth fight. It all depends if Pantoja can one, get Moreno down, and two, if he can keep him down. Because like you said, Moreno in them scrambles, he's just so good, and he's again, we talk about championship mindset. Moreno's will to win is second to none. And again, he's just a dog in there. But is Pantoja going to be too much in them grappling exchanges? Which I don't know. Is he?
Maybe so. If you look at the odds here, money line, it's -9 for 195 for Moreno, and it's +165 here on the UFC website. That is, of course, for Alexandre Pantoja. So, you know, the favorite seems to suggest that Moreno is, but because look, he's up there. You know, he's already the champ. He's fought tougher competition. You'd think so, but like I said, something about staring your past failures in the face, it kind of gives you weak knees, and you know, I don't know whether that's going to have an emotional toll on Moreno. So he performs differently to what we've seen. He's certainly got the tools and the skill set to do it, but is he going to be the guy on the night? Is the question.
Yeah, well, that's going to gauge us.
On number wise, it's pretty even on, isn't it? On most of it. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's have a look at the gauges. Let's get them up. I forgot how to do it now. Here we go. And the fight is on screen. Let me get to the chats real quick. I do need to.
Yeah, there's nothing there for now.
Oh, nothing for now. All right, cool. I actually do need to get my charger for the laptop. I can't believe I forgot that out. It should be in the advance over there. But what do you reckon for striking?
Striking will go to Moreno for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moreno gets striking. I'll pop that on. Or I give on the wrong one. Okay, and grappling, who gets that?
All day long, Pantoja.
Pantoja gets the grappling. Now, are you sure about striking for Moreno? Because you saw what happened in the second time out. Pantoja's striking was just superior.
Yeah, it was. I agree. It just I just think Moreno is just relentless when it comes to like. Obviously, I know since their second fight, like I said, they're both improved. But yeah, Moreno is just he's striking the second to none. I think he's improved massively in his striking.
Mm-hmm. He did. He definitely did. And I mean, personally, I reckon that. I reckon that the power wise, it just makes me question it. Totally, it makes me question whether Moreno's got the ability to get it done. Yeah. I don't know. Pantoja can catch him. That's the thing. Pantoja can catch him.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Pantoja. If I was to give power, I'd probably go to Pantoja though. Yeah.
You reckon so?
Yeah.
Oh, James, man, I was about to go. It's in the power Pantoja. Let me bring it on. There we go. Sweet. Speed. Who gets that?
Moreno.
Moreno gets speed?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
This is I know. Obviously, I was finding the first fight. Obviously, Volkanovski and Rodríguez tough. This one's tough as well. Very tough to pick, obviously, like you said, with the striking. They both improved massively in striking. Obviously, the one clear thing I can kind of see someone getting is the grappling, and that's Pantoja.
Yeah, you reckon that's where it's going?
Actually, another clear thing would be cardio, and that would go to Moreno.
Yeah, so he's got a Mexican heart, a Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mexican grit. He does. Looking at those numbers, though, looking at that sort of gauge, do you think this is going to be more of a Moreno's? I mean, we're siding with the odds here now, aren't we?
If I'm picking a fight to win, I'm still back in Pantoja.
You are?
I am, yeah.
Why? Because everything here we talked about suggests Moreno.
I just think that in the grappling, as I gave Pantoja grappling, I just think he's so superior in the grappling. And if it becomes even in the clinch, or even if Pantoja manages to get a hold of Moreno, I think it's just going to be too much for him.
Okay, no, it's a fair enough point. I mean, something I'd have to add on that is I generally do think that when it comes to the grappling, we've seen improvements in the defense of Moreno.
1,000%, yeah.
You know,
I just think
you saw him on the ground.
Pantoja is another kettle of fish. Pantoja is another kettle of fish.
He's fast.
He's fast.
No, that first round when the first fight that they had when he took him down in the second and submitted him, he shot for the hips and immediately Moreno sprawled out. And when he sprawled, like it was almost like a feint to the hip. So Pantoja just literally whipped around.
Back.
Yeah, immediately. I was like, wow, that was fast. So yeah, I mean, Moreno had some incredibly fast.
We all saw how quickly as well, and we all know when Pantoja beat Alex Perez. But Alex Perez, his stand up is very, very good.
Yeah,
and Pantoja was the one putting the pressure on Alex Perez and wasn't letting him settle.
Here's something I couldn't quite figure out.
And that's the thing. If you can do that to Moreno and not let Moreno settle and wilt under that pressure, you make mistakes. Like you said, if you're going to get hit in the face, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, I hear that. But here's one as well, actually, because I've been thinking about this for a bit. How will Pantoja come out in this fight? Because the second fight, he has some success against Moreno in the striking because he kind of sat back, you know, and he was like kind of like countering and timing his entries. But is he going to do that again this time out? Or is he going to put a pace in him like he did with Perez?
I think he does. I think he does exactly the same. But that's the thing. When you got when you have the grappling credentials of someone like a Pantoja, you don't care about getting taken down just because your submission game is high level. You don't care about the takedown just because you'll latch onto something or you can reverse the position. So that's why I think it'll be a smart game plan for Pantoja to do exactly the same as he did against Perez and just put the pressure on Moreno.
Yeah, I've always gone with Moreno. I've never actually gone against him.
Yeah.
Ever. So I don't know whether I might stick with him again on this one. I just feel like you can get lucky so many times, you know, and I think Pantoja beat him last time. Actually, to be fair, the first fight, I feel like Moreno was a better fighter. Pantoja saw an opportunity, took it when he was slipping. But in the second fight, Pantoja was the better fighter by hands down. So. Yeah, do you know, it's a tough one. Very tough one.
Quick couple of chats then. Soccerpool says this has to be the hardest gauges to pick in a long time. I'll leave it to you, boys.
It's tough.
Yeah, well,
I don't even want to give striking just to Moreno. I feel like the striking even should be on both sides like that. It really should be Pantoja.
Wales, New Jersey's in the house. Welcome,
what's up, Wales? Thanks for dropping in, man.
Nolan Zebra says, "What's up, Wales?" Everyone's saying hello to each other. I love that. You all out.
Love
Everyone's
it,
saying
love
it.
it, love it.
Well, it says in work, just dropping by to say hi, what's up, and hit the like button. See you guys
Bang.
Saturday. Oh, see, you're such a little legend.
Mate, you know what's good, man. You know what's good. Yeah.
Uh,
Slap of the like button, man. Love that, brother. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, then. So, look,
have we got all the gauges? Did we go cardio for Moreno, yeah?
yeah, cardio Moreno, speed Moreno, but then Pantoja was quite rapid too. Like, he was fast in that second time out as well. And he really took it to, he really took.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I could even give him that. You're right. Like, Psycho Paul's correct. Like, this is one of the hardest ones to pick. It's one of the toughest ones.
It is because, like you said, striking. Obviously, I know the only reason I'm saying Moreno is just because, he's just so relentless with his combinations, and I know I'm saying relentless when I just said about Pantoja putting a pace on Alex Perez, but it's tough. It's tough.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's how it's
get rid of it now before I change
it's free a pop. I'm going to go Moreno on it because I've never gone against the guy. Although I feel like Moreno could probably lose this one.
I'm still picking Pantoja.
It's really tough. I'd have to come back to this one. It's really tough. Okay. Next one up, let's move it along. We are looking down the barrel of the next fight on the card, which is another banger, which could have easily been a co-main bout if it wasn't any ordinary fight card. And
if it wasn't another title fight in the co-main event, you're right, because this is basically a title eliminator now. Whoever wins this fights Izzy.
Absolutely. Yipsalutely. You got Robert Whittaker in the red corner and Dricus du Plessis. Yipsalutely. 25-6 for Bobby Knuckles and 19-2 for Dricus. Now we've got New Zealand versus South Africa. Height-wise, not a huge thing in it, but reach is probably where you're going to see the biggest disparity, and that's going to be like a 2.5 reach advantage for Dricus. Australia. I think if we're looking at the other numbers, wins by power, sub, and all the rest of it, it's Dricus who seems to have the advantage in submissions. But we're pretty neck on in terms of knockouts. And it is Robert Whittaker who's running away with it when it comes to decisions. So in terms of how you think this fight's going to go, you've got that elusiveness, fluid, stand up, bouncing on those toes.
Yeah.
Difficult to find the range style of Bobby Knuckles versus someone who is pretty well rounded and he's a striking, but he's all to set up the grappling exchanges. Really, let's be honest. So, how do you think it's going to go? Is Dricus going to be able to find Bobby, or is he just going to be not there at all?
This is the thing for me. A lot of people are trying to back, obviously, du Plessis just because obviously it's a new challenge for Izzy, and the only threat I can see that he poses to Whittaker is just he could catch him. And du Plessis, fair play to him, he does have a bit of power and a pop to his punches, and that's the only way I see him if he could potentially win this fight. Because I don't see him taking Robert Whittaker down, or if he does, Robert Whittaker's so good at getting back to his feet. And like I've said for ages now, Robert Whittaker is the best fighter in the middleweight division by the champ, and he's just so good. And I can't see du Plessis winning the fight, but this is the sport we love, and anything can happen. So, but I just can't see it.
No, this is it. Yeah, let's flirt with the idea for a second. If du Plessis does get it done, you think it's either going to be landing power, but has he got chance in the grappling? You don't think he'll be able to get to the ground? I mean, knockout wise, you're talking 42% of his wins come by KO. That's Dricus, but then it's the same thing for Bobby. However, you almost got significantly more average fight time on Bobby's side.
Yeah.
Grappling exchanges is quite clear there. That is Dricus who has the power advantage, or has the advantage in that area. But check out those odds. -410 for Whittaker. And then you got 310 plus underdog. That is the South African. So, look, it kind of spells it there. You let's get a gauge straight up on this one. But you think you would side very much so with the Kiwi, that being Robert.
Yeah, the Aussie.
The Aussie. New Zealand. No, that'll be.
He's Australian.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Why did I get? No, do you know what? We was talking about Izzy, weren't we? The Aussie.
What is going on with you, Mr. Brown?
No, my bad. For some reason, I thought New Zealand. Hold on. Give me a second. Why did I think it was New Zealand?
I've got no idea, mate. Right, why you're
Oh, I know
absolutely...
why. Because on UFC it says New Zealand from the country that he's fighting out of. UFC have gone and balls that up.
Oh, Christ. Nolan Zebra says he wants
He is
Moreno to
Australian. You're
win,
right.
though. This fight could be fight of the night, says Nolan Zebra. Hard to see a winner of this. Fighting Izzy next could be too soon of a quick turnaround for the Sydney card if it's an all-out war.
Yeah.
Damage is dependent on this fight, he says.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But if you've got them gauges up and the first thing is striking, it's going to Robert Whittaker.
All day long. I'll take that. Got that little Whittaker
day.
jab of his that comes out there. Grappling. I guess we're gonna have to sit really with Dricus on that one.
Oh,
On the grappling side of things.
No, I'm kind of sticking with Whittaker in this one.
On grappling, explain that to me.
Yeah, just because he mixes it in so well.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I've seen obviously Duplessis do it in the past, but like obviously he was taking down. Obviously in a couple of his last fights, he's taken down a tired Darren Till. Same with Derek Brunson, tired Derek Brunson, taking him down easy.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I'm not sure how much I should be trusting the UFC website now that it's told me that Robert is from New Zealand when he's Australian. But I think the numbers
if
here.
you're going to go with the old MMA maths, then you
they do
I won't argue if you want to go with Duplessis, but
yeah, takedown average 2.83 for Duplessis and 0.82 for Whittaker. And takedown accuracy is 10% more for Dricus as well. Now, bear in mind, he's got 9 minutes versus 14, 15 minutes fight time. So, you know, it does sort of screw a bit. I think, who gets power then? Who would you say power?
Oh, Duplessis gets power for me, yeah.
Duplessis gets power, yeah?
Duplessis!
And then who gets speed?
Robbie Whittaker.
Yeah, Bobby with the speed. Agreed on that one. And then the cardio. He's
goes
been
to
there
Robert
more.
Whittaker as well.
He's
been
been there more
been 5
times.
rounds so many times.
Yeah.
He's an absolute dog.
There we go.
But then again, actually, hang on. Duplessis can breathe now, can't he? So
it's a 3-round fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a 3-round fight too. And so look, when's the last time we saw Whittaker in a 3-round?
I think his last one was 3-round as well.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Just trying to think, there's more output.
This is what I mean. This is the thing for me. Like you said there, like this is 1,000%. Like any 3-round fight Robert Whittaker's in, unless it's against Izzy, I think he wins just purely because he's been in 5 rounds for so long. He can just pour it on for just 3 rounds. Like you said, obviously, Marvin Vettori went 3 rounds with absolutely easily won that fight against Calvin Gastelum before the Izzy loss. Again, that was I know that was 5 rounds, but yeah, just unreal. Like I just think if it's a 3-round fight and it's not Izzy, he wins easy.
Yeah, fair.
Like I said, unless Duplessis catches him.
Yeah. Fair, yeah, that could be it too. I mean, a 5-round fight, you got more chance of catching them. I always get nervous with power in a 5-round fight, although it does sort of diminish after a while. You know, I feel like with Duplessis and Whittaker, he's just got to be defensively sound, which he is. And
he's so defensively sound, and like I said, he's improved again, even since he lost to Izzy. I know he's only had that one fight against Vettori, but still, he looks so good in that fight.
This is it. All right. Robert Whittaker. I think that's a resounding.
I'm picking Robert Whittaker to win.
Yeah,
I could be made at look a mug saying that Robert Whittaker wins this easy, but again, this is why we love the sport.
The minus 410 favorite. We got it.
Yeah. Psycho Paul says Bobby Knuckles should walk through this fight, but Duplessis is still unknown quantity and looks better each fight. Yeah. 100%. And this is what I'm saying. I think that Robert Whittaker easily should walk through Duplessis. But again, like you said, he is getting better in each fight. Like you said, obviously that Darren Till fight, obviously he didn't look good in that fight, but that was because it was a tired Darren Till, and Darren Till hurt him in that fight. And the same with Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson hurt Duplessis. Yeah, and it's just one of them where he had a bit of a chin on the day. Yeah, and he had a little bit of grit, but I just don't see him beating Robert Whittaker unless he catches him.
I think it's safe to say, Dricus is improving, and he's doing good, and you know you can't.
Like I said before, though, who knows now? He can actually breathe properly now. So
because he got his nose sorted out, didn't he?
Yeah. I need that.
Imagine. But let's also bear in mind the fact that there is like a ton of levels to this game. Right. Yeah. And of course, you got Whittaker, who's demonstrated to us already that he's up there. We've not seen Dricus on those levels yet.
No.
You know, we've seen him beat other people, but, you know, just about, or, you know, maybe a couple showing he's a few levels above, absolutely. But is he on the levels of
exactly, yeah.
Is he Robbie Whittaker and the rest
he's beaten Derek Brunson, I think, who was 6 or 7 at the time. And now he's jumped in straight away to fight Whittaker.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's got a lot
to learn. Going to be too much of a jump, or should he have gone to someone like Vettori or someone else first?
We should also mention he did beat Derek Brunson into retirement, didn't he?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but Derek Brunson had success in that fight, and that's what I mean. If Whittaker has that success and smells blood, he's not going to gas. So
that's it.
Why you change that? Quick couple of comments. So a couple said Du Plessis has cardio like Magomedov, Abus Magomedov. Hope his nose operation improves him. So basically, remember, Magomedov gassed against Sean Strickland again. We could see that.
When you said Magomedov, I was like, man, is it that good? But when you said Abus Magomedov, I was like, that one. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome in, Mark Short. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well, sir.
What's up, Mark? Thanks for dropping by, man.
Appreciate it. If Bobby Knuckles lost, to be honest. Exactly, and that's the same as me. I will be absolutely gobsmacked if Robert Whittaker loses. And like I've said before, he is like Max Holloway in the featherweight division. Like Max Holloway, obviously I know we've got an interim champion now in Rodríguez, but Max Holloway in that featherweight division is the best guy apart from the champion. And it's the same with Robert Whittaker. There's always a certain someone in the division that is just so good, but just so short of not being a champion.
We have a wild card on this card, in which case, you know, something unpredictable could happen and it could shock the world, but I don't think we've got into that yet.
No.
But whilst we are here, let's get into the next one on the card. It's Jalin Turner versus Dan Hooker. Now, we're in the red corner. We've got 14-6-0 for Jalin Turner. And in the blue corner, it is 22-12-0 for the Dan Hooker, who is from New Zealand.
Yes.
So they got that one right at least. So let's have a look here. 3-inch height advantage for Jalin Turner. These guys are going to be pretty towering in the octagon on the night. And then you got a 2-inch reach advantage as well for Jalin Turner. So he is sort of a little bit superior in those ways, and those leg kicks as well seem to be a little bit more too. Now, usually Dan Hooker, most of his matchups is the taller guy. He is the taller one. He's got advantages in the reach and everything else. So I wonder how it's going to feel a little bit this time when he's going to be, I guess, not dwarfed, but he's just going to come up a little bit short against the taller and the rangier, evidently, Jalin Turner. With this one, I need to sort of rely a little bit on the numbers too, because Jalin Turner doesn't have as much average fight time, but he is a beast with the power. You know, he's dangerous with the power. 69% knockout. Of his wins come by knockout to 50% of Dan Hooker's wins come via knockout. So that's pretty significant. Dan Hooker sees the decision far more times as well to Jalen's 0%. How do you think this one's going to take place? Is it going to be a stand-up war? Or someone going to be bringing something new?
Yeah, I think Dan Hooker needs to keep it on the feet, because the grappling of Turner is so good, like grappling. Like obviously he fought
Gamrot.
He fought his teammate in Brad Riddell, and Brad Riddell tried to stand and bang with Jalin Turner, and Turner cracked him a couple of times, and Brad Riddell panicked and went for a takedown, and Turner got that guillotine. So again, Turner's very good in the grappling exchanges. So again,
he's capable of it. But also. The fight he had against Gamrot, the fact that was a split decision. You know what I mean? Watching that, going into that fight, I thought Gamrot was going to be, sweeping the fight. Not necessarily before, but I thought he was going to have a better win.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it was close.
Jalin Turner cracked him a couple of times.
Man, right.
I don't think I've seen Gamrot so hurt, if you know what I mean. And Turner pulled off a great fight, and again, he could have even got the upset and won that fight, and he wouldn't have even be fighting Dan Hooker now. He'd be fighting the top guys in the lightweight division. But absolutely. I think it's a perfect fight for Turner. Dan Hooker, when it comes to grappling or defense on the mat, he's not very good.
No.
On the feet, obviously, he could have a chance because obviously he's tough, he's gritty.
Yep.
Again, I still don't think this is another Robert Whittaker situation for me. I think Turner should easily win this fight.
I mean, look at the fights they're coming off of, right? Jalin Turner coming off of that mad, exciting fight against Gamrot, and you see where he is in the division of things he's doing, and it was close. Now look at Dan Hooker, who just come off a fight against Claudio Puelles.
That's the thing as well. He needed that kind of fight just to sort of get back on track. and that's fighting an unranked guy.
It's a gimme.
And like, I know obviously Puelles has the grappling edge as well, but he was just constantly going for was it leg locks? I think he was trying to go. He was constantly trying to go for leg locks, and
but that should give you a good idea as to where these guys are. You know, it should give you an idea as to sort of the caliber of fighters going into this fight.
And exactly. Yeah,
it should just really spell Jalin Turner. And if we have a look at the odds on this particular one, you will see like a minus 250 favorite for Jalin Turner to a plus 210 for Dan Hooker. And I guess that is, without even really getting to the nitty-gritty of it, you kind of looking on the very top level. This guy is at this level because look at the level of fight he's fighting. Exactly. And this guy is at this level because look at the recent level of fighter that he's currently been paired up against. And look, let's not be mistaken that he has had some losses, Dan Hooker, but not too some slums. Like these have been some dogs.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, he's fought some top level of competition throughout his career, and obviously, like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Dan Hooker's no slouch. I just think that when you're fighting someone like Turner, he's a very, very good prospect, and I shouldn't even be saying prospect because he's fought some, like you said, he's come off a split decision loss to Gamrot, but I can't keep repeating myself enough. I just think Turner's going to walk through him. Dan
Hooker is evidently a good gatekeeper. I think when you look at someone who's fighting Dan Hooker, the question you got to ask yourself before you ask, is he going to beat Dan Hooker? Is this guy going to be something? Is he going to be like a prospect? Is he going to be the next thing in the division? And I think with Jalin Turner, like, we can all look at this guy and think he's going to be something in this division. He's going to be a problem. And that's the only thing that you think that Dan Hooker does come up short against, and that's the problems.
Jordan just made me laugh.
Go on, what did he say?
he's no, sorry. Is blonde Hooker a different animal though?
Is he a
very
different
true?
animal?
Very, very true. Is he or is he not? But he's not. Is he Adesanya?
Hey.
Psycho Paul says every fight seems like a must-win fight for Dan.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm on about. And obviously, he needed to fight someone like Puelles just to get back on track and get back to winning ways. And that's what I'm saying. You can sort of see, like Sai said, like you got Turner fighting Gamrot, and then you got Hooker fighting Puelles, and picking up that. I know it was a TKO win, but again, there's levels to this game, and we're seeing that. But yeah, it says
very much so.
Fighting, seems like he must win fight for Dan lately. Don't think that changes Saturday either, but backing Hooker to come through it.
Wow.
Daniel FIFA and more says, "What's up? Welcome in,
sir. Daniel? It's
well.
good. I'm curious, Daniel.
Like on a video.
What is more? Tell me. FIFA, we know what that is, but what's more?
Psycho Paul, when you order blonde Oliveira off Wig and you get blonde.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's so true.
No, this is blonde.
Dan FIFA and more. I've got Turner, in my opinion. Turner won his last fight and will run through Hooker. Yeah, exactly like we were saying. It was a close fight. Turner could have potentially even beat Gamrot. It was a very, very close contested fight, and he hurt Gamrot more than I thought he would have.
Yeah.
And not like even Psycho Paul saying, like, Dan Hooker's fighting guys to just sort of get wins at the moment, and now he's fighting someone like Turner. I just can't see. It's the same as Robert Whittaker. I can't see Dan Hooker getting past Jalin Turner unless he puts the pace on him. But again, if he puts the pace on Turner, I just see Turner catching him. I really don't know. Really, really. I'm backing Turner all the way.
Yeah, I'm Hooker or Turner? Turner, yeah. I'm
Turner all day long, all day. Like, again, it's going to be another shock. If I see Robert Whittaker lose, I'm going to be shocked, and if I see Jalin Turner lose, I'm going to be shocked as well. If they both lose, then blooming hell.
Yeah. I feel there's going to be like one really shocking thing that's going to happen in this card, but I don't know
it could even be the next fight.
Exactly, potentially.
I don't. This is the thing as well. There's three fights. The first three fights. Do you know when you got it in your head, like, I don't see a winner, but then something does happen.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like I keep saying, this is the fight game. Something is definitely going to happen.
It really could. We've got the gauges up now as well. What was that last comment? You get any more comments there? I think the one.
Yeah, it was just. I think you said what is more. He says UFC 4 and other videos.
Oh,
I'll have to give it again. UFC 4.
What's other videos? I'm kidding. We can go all day. Okay, cool. So yeah, striking. Who gets this? Oh, it's difficult.
Turner all day long.
I'll go Turner. Yeah, but then I think Hooker's got striking. Do you give it to both of them?
No, I'll give Turner striking.
Yeah, Turner confident.
Confidently. Yeah.
Is that much better? Okay, grappling. Who gets grappling?
Turner as well.
Power. Who gets power?
Turner as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Speed. Who gets speed?
Turner as well.
You got yeah.
This might be a whitewash, honestly. Actually, I'll tell you what. Actually, Hooker can get cardio.
Yeah, we go. I was going to say cardio. Actually, I think maybe Hooker. Okay. Well, that's that done. Next one up. No, we've got to give a little bit more respect on Hooker's name because he's been through some wars. He is something. He is more than like you said, just one blue tick on the board.
Every fighter will hit that kind of point in their career where they can only be a gatekeeper for so long. And obviously, not to say he was a gatekeeper, but like he was in the top rankings of the obviously lightweight division. Now he's dropped out, and Angela Turner's that new level of caliber of a fighter to jump through the rankings, and
it's coming through. I mean, with Dan Hooker, I think after the fight, we're gonna find out if you can teach an old dog new tricks. Now the guy's not even that old himself, but in terms of fighting years. You know, he's certainly drilled a certain amount.
He's been in some wars. Like obviously, he was in a war with Barbosa. Took so much damage against Barbosa, and then took so much damage against Poirier. Arnold Allen poured it on him somehow. I don't know why. Dan Hooker went down to featherweight, but Dan Hooker took a lot of damage from our boy Arnold Allen. And
yeah, man.
And like you said, he caught a break when he fought someone like Poirier that wasn't ranked or nowhere near probably the top 15. But again, he needed to sort of take that step back just to get a win.
Confidence-wise,
exactly.
And
exactly.
Just, so it's not looking like one in his last five. Now I've got two in his last five, but I mean, again, that could very much change. Enough. Okay, cool. Well, that is what that looks like. We're going to come up now to the next fight on the card, shall we? And this is now the very first fight on the card. So this is Bo Nickal versus Val Woodburn. Now, bear in mind, this was Bo Nickal versus Trajan Gore. This was a very different fight to what we're looking at now. Bo Nickal would have trained, prepared for it, but Val Woodburn stepped in very short notice and is now taking this on. Now, we watched some tape on this guy. I had to go to YouTube for it. You can't really find this on Fighter Pass. The guy's got some. He's got a pass which is very difficult to dig up and find. But you can if you looked in. You can.
Yeah. Just before you go on, I'm just going to read this comment from Psycho Paul. It says, "Bit disrespectful having Lawler's retirement fight on the prelims and Bo Nickal on the main card." And this is the thing for me. This is where they should have switched it. And I don't know. There could be time to still kind of switch it, but I think Bo Nickal versus Trajan Gore, you could slightly arguably say, just because of the hype of Bo Nickal, you can keep it on the main card because against someone like Trajan Gore. But again, it is definitely 1,000%. You're right, Psycho Paul, saying it's a bit disrespectful. And bearing in mind what a fight that is, Robbie Lawler versus Nico Price. Nico Price always brings it. Robbie Lawler always brings it.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of them fights where you've got to have a decent fight on the prelims. But yeah, if it's going to be like a retirement fight and Robbie Lawler's former champion, he's been in the game for so long, you kind of got to have it on the main card, right?
Yeah, very well said.
But like you said, I'm looking at the fight card and fight bout order as well. You can have Jimmy Crute versus Lonzo Mendenfield headline in the prelims because obviously that fight was a draw and that fight was a banger the last time. So again, them two will stand and bang, and that could easily headline the prelims and bump up Robbie Lawler. But again, if you want to sort of hype up the prelims, definitely put Bo Nickal on there because you've got him on the main card because of the hype. Swap it.
Yeah,
but
you got some interesting things there, and I hear that. I mean, is it a bit more of a prestige to headline the prelims or to kick off the main card? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say because it brings eyes in from the start of the headliner or prelim, sorry.
Yeah, but it's also a bit of an honor to headline a prelim card as well as it is to, you know, you're the bottom of something if you start the main card, but you're the top of something if you headline the prelim.
Oh, I like the way you think.
Do you know what I
mean? Daniel FIFA says, I think Duplessis will catch Whittaker and sub Whittaker round one. Ooh,
okay.
If that happens, I will be insanely shocked, but again, it's a fight game. Anything can happen, but I just can't see it.
I think I know what and more is. Mystic Meg readings, you know, seeing into the future. I mean, I'll be super impressed if that does happen. I just think Bobby Knuckles is smarter than that. You know, he's been doing this for long enough to not make that would have to require a silly mistake in my opinion, and it's possible and it could happen. I just do not believe Robert Whittaker will make that silly mistake. He's just too experienced.
Yeah, because obviously we all saw the submission of Darren Till. Bearing in mind, Darren Till tapped so quick against Du Plessis.
Yeah.
Darren Till was tired.
He quit.
So I don't see. Yeah, exactly. I don't see Robert Whittaker ever getting tired. And I even think if Du Plessis does manage to take him down, I think Robert Whittaker will always try and work his way back to his feet. He won't give up the back. He will be defensively sound on the mat whilst getting back to his feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like you said, if you're getting punched in the face, you never know.
Well, this is it. All right, then. Well, back to the very first one on the card. Yeah. No problem. We're looking at Bo Nickal and Woodburn at the moment. I think the significant thing to mention about this one, because we don't have all the numbers everything to put up on this yet. I mean, UFC card has not got them tied in, but minus 3,000 is the odds on this underdog, on this favorite, sorry. To plus 750. Now, I don't know if you're using the Fanalytic apps like we are. That's significantly more. I just think it's just tempting. It's just tempting to say Val.
Man, I'm sticking 100 quid on Woodburn.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Get a new house. Like Val, first round knockout.
JK, Rome was definitely built in a day.
Imagine. Wow, it'd just be like all this time, nothing, and bam,
Yeah.
You got Bo Nickal who shouldn't win this. He shouldn't lose this fight. This fight. But then you got someone like Val who he throws his hands to create some chaos. But he's a big, stocky, strong guy who'd rather be physical with you, chest to chest, and muscle you against the cage than throw his power. Do you know what I mean? You got big stocky guys that throw their hands and look to catch you, but this guy is very much more of a let me come here, let me put my chest on yours and and nullify whatever you got for me. Yeah. Now, Bo Nickal might like that because he wins every fight by getting something. Yeah. There's not one fight where you can just stay standing with this guy. If you stay standing in this fight, you might have a chance. But Val is just not the way he's built to do something like that. I just don't think he's going to. He's going to stay standing with someone like Bo. So he's going to go into his world.
1,000%.
Val's big. He's heavy. And if he's on the ground, that height advantage is not going to be so significant anymore.
No. Well, I just think if it does get to the mat, Bo Nickal is going to absolutely dominate him.
But for Val, it's where he's going to.
And like you said, I know Val is a stocky guy, but I even think Bo Nickal's a big guy for the middleweight division. A lot of people don't know that. He's a very, very big middleweight. And obviously, I just saw, I think I saw 2 fights of Val before we come live. And I know he's small and stocky, but I just think Bo's going to be too much for him anyway.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Bo certainly can be. And it's, you got to also consider the fact that the height advantage is going to be on Bo's side. Mm-hmm. So if I think I looked correctly, Bo is 6'1", right? Mm-hmm. Now this Val geezer, he's like 5'6". No, he's 5'8". He's 5'8". Okay, he's a little bit taller than Volkanovski. So he's 5'8". So, but still, he's going to be taller. Now, of course, Val's a bit stockier. He seems like a huge guy. I can't believe he's in the middleweight division. But it's also going to mean that for Bo Nickal to find the hips, it's going to be difficult. He's going to have to get a takedown on Val by tripping him. Now, how do you trip a fire hydrant? They're pretty well cemented to the ground.
Yeah.
So that could be a bit of a challenge still. But, at the same time, the way Val fights and the fact that Val wants to be close to you, I feel like...
that's true. Very good point.
He's going to have plenty of opportunity to try. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the speed is definitely going to be in Bo Nickal's side. And I think that's probably where we should probably get up to and in the gauges.
I thought I was actually going to go for speed for Val, to be honest.
No, speed. I'll go.
I've seen some nice little combinations from Val up against the cage.
I'll give Val power just because.
Yeah, Val can have power.
Yeah.
He so I'm just going to go to this comment here from Psycho Paul says, so I just turned my opinion upside down.
yeah. This is what we do here. We make you think differently.
Dan FIFA says, the sad truth about the UFC is business and Bo Nickal is good for the pay-per-views and Lawler is yesterday's news. It's a very, very sad sight and you are 1,000% correct. Yes.
Yeah. And it rhymes a bit too. And, I'm sucking for
Bo Nickal via low blow, says Psycho Paul.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The fact that Val is quite small, every blow is going to be quite low. So,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Pop him in the head face just by chucking his hand down. But look, it's going to be interesting. Val said that he's going to shock the world. And that piques my ears. That got me listening to something different. I was like, do you have to tell yourself this because this is just... Because, I mean, bearing in mind, Val would have only started believing that like 2 days ago when the fight was picked. You know what I mean? It's not like something he's been fully manifesting for years and days and then like, I'm going for this. This is going to be wild.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just chatting. You know, this is just came out. This is just smoke that came out of nowhere. But he does have his build is going to be a trick one for Bo Nickal to figure out. You know,
I've only seen a couple of his fights. I'm watching how he fights. I think he just plays into Bo Nickal's hands. Like you said, obviously he likes to get in your face early, and like you said, he likes to grab a hold of you as well. And I just think if he grabs a hold of Bo Nickal, it's going to be an early night for him.
Absolutely. And look, what I would like Val to do is get a hold of Bo Nickal and think he's going for the grappling, but then just like be electric with the hands. Dirty boxing. Touch him for a little bit and then just throw those fists and try catch him in those hooks because he's got the power to put Bo Nickal out. The problem is it's very cardio taxing for a guy of his stature.
Yes.
Like, he throws four hands and he's gassing. That's why he's got to hold on to you for a bit. He's got ways of regenerating the tank. You know, but you're throwing his hands.
I was just laughing at Jordan's comment about Val.
Go on, what did you say?
Valorant.
Mate, that's exactly how Volkanovski should be coming out. Not Volkanovski. Bo Nickal should be coming out. Why don't you come on over, Val? All right. Speed. I've just been peppering these in as we go along. I would be happy to go with Bo for this one. But
yeah, all day long.
We could do Val too. He's got power. He's got fast hands when he's in the pocket.
Oh, for power? Oh, you can give Val power if you want to give him power.
Sorry, yeah, but I mean speed. But yeah, power. Val's got power. And then
what about you can go with speed for Bo as well? That's fine.
Striking.
That's what I mean. Bo Nickal's not really a striker, but he does have decent striking. Just jump onto Daniel. He says Val has nothing to lose. He could catch him, and is undefeated for a reason. 100%. And like Sai said, obviously he likes to get in close. And like again, just to touch on what Sai said, like if Bo grabs a hold of you, like Val could come up with them uppercuts. Like I said, he's got some power, overhand rights in the clinch.
Yeah. He does.
Who knows?
But also bear this in mind as well, before I tick off this last one, Val has won his competition, yes, but we've seen Val go to decision in his last two.
Yeah.
And not necessarily call him a tryhard. You know, he just about, you know, he had to really sort of put it out of the fire in order to get those wins. Bo Nickal, his recent streak of wins, you can see that he is levels above the people he's been put up against.
Oh,
in the last fight. Like he is just so sick, and he's been putting people away like that. Do you know what I mean? Like he's putting plates in the cupboard. You know what I mean? It's just for him come so easily. And the fact that is the Bo Nickal that we're working with, and this is the Val we're working with. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes me think, okay, yeah, Bo Nickal should walk through this. I mean, look at those odds.
Yeah, I think he should just walk through him, to be honest. Obviously, I thought he was going to walk through Tresh Gore as well, so...
I've been saying it all night, and I do think if there's going to be... I've just been backwards and forwards. I'm probably confusing everyone. But if there's going to be a fight on this card which is not going to go the way it should go, I think it's this one. I just
can't see it, Mr. Brown. I can't see it.
If there's one.
Like, there's going to be one out of them first three fights, but...
I think it would be this one.
I really don't know what one, if there's going to be one.
I can't see
it being this one.
Any of the other ones going... Actually, maybe Dan Hooker could go... Yeah, maybe that one could. But I think more so in this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So striking, who gets it? Help us out in the chats. Would you give it to Bo Nickal or would you give it to Val?
Striking.
I might give it to Val, actually.
I'd give striking to Val because I've actually seen more of his striking. So
yeah, and true. And also we've got to look at the fact that Val's got more knockouts. You know, and you know, you got someone like Bo Nickal who really just wraps people up. To be honest with you, he doesn't really put people away with the hands. Not as much as Val certainly has and has been doing lately. So, yeah, his hands have knocked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and only as of late gone into decisions. So we're gonna have to give striking to the Val because he uses it.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
While Bo might be faster and could cut the back quite quickly. Val's got that striking and the power there, in my personal opinion. And we use the numbers and the gauges, the sheets to back that up on paper. Ash.
Hello.
That does it. We got to the end of the card. That's it. We got all day from
I'm just going to go through a couple of comments, and then we will. Soccer Paul says, any chance of going live for the prelims cards, lads?
Ooh,
I tell you what, Jordan might, like, if I give him a little bit of a nudge, because Jack Della Maddalena is fighting. You never know. He might go live.
It takes you so much effort to do it. You got
5 years later, I get to Maddalena.
You got to put everything in your life on hold just to get it.
Yeah, I've literally got to stare Jack Della Maddalena. But
who knows?
Syllables. Obviously, if we give JK a nudge, who knows? We could go live just before that fight, because obviously I know 1,000% Jordan will want to watch that fight.
Yeah,
just because it rates Jack Della Maddalena very highly.
I wouldn't be too disappointed to do it for the main event on the prelims, out of respect for Robbie Lauder.
1,000%.
I don't think that would be too bad to do, but we just also got to bear in mind, I've got an incredibly long day before and after that.
So. George Mary's in the chat. Welcome in, George.
What's up, George? Hey, man. Welcome on in. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that.
Good evening, ladies. Just want to say hi. AJ, new flyweight champion, so he's going for Pantoja, I'm guessing.
Okay. I appreciate that, George. Thanks for your input. We were talking about, I think we were split on that one. I went Moreno, you went Pantoja. So
I did go Pantoja, yeah.
And do you know, that was the only gauge, George, that kind of came up 3 blue, 3 red. Like we were split down the middle.
The numbers didn't add up. It's very hard to break these fights down, and
that was
especially
tough.
With you can see the levels of improvements of both fighters. Like you said, I saw there was level improvements from Moreno striking, and then you saw the levels improvements from Pantoja striking. And this is why we love breaking fights down, and why we love hearing your thoughts and opinions in the chat. And this is just love going through the cards, love breaking them down. But Volkanovski, Pantoja, Whittaker, Turner, and Bo Nickal for me.
That's how you're gonna go with it, yeah?
And fight of the night. If I'm gonna pick a fight of the night, I'm actually gonna go with the main event, Volkanovski and Yair.
I think, for me, potential fight of the night would be the co-main, personally. The main event could be tentative. I feel there could be a lot of feints from both sides. Yair throwing them, Volk throwing them, not a lot getting landed until it does, I guess, of course. But, do you know what? The way that these animals come out, Moreno and Pantoja in the last fights and when they last fought, it's always a joy. So, for me, that's going to be a potential fight of the night.
Ray says, Volk, are you going for Pantoja? Are you, Alexandre Pantoja?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's going Pantoja. He's going for Volk. I think it's you as well.
Duplessis. Duplessis, Boo, Turner, main card. Oh, he's going for Duplessis. And Bo Nickal and Turner for the main card predictions.
Right.
Yeah, so he's gone Volkanovski, Alexandre Pantoja, Duplessis, Bo Nickal, and Turner.
Similar to what you had, I think, isn't it? But
I went Robert Whittaker
on that
instead of Duplessis.
Yeah, well, here it is. I don't know. I think you're all wrong, and I'm going to be entirely right on the whole entire thing. So. That's hard to say.
Thank you all for your comments, though. It's been amazing. Much appreciated.
Thanks for chiming on in. Yeah, it's been good. And don't forget to tune in for the fight night when it happens. We'll be here on Saturday night, Sunday morning if you're here in the UK, and we'll begin the whole entire watch long for UFC 290. So that's from the start of the main card to the very end. 3
maybe
a.m.
a couple of prelims, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, if you like and subscribe to the channel, you'll get a notification when we go live, and you won't miss it. But ultimately we'll be giving that full coverage, commentary, breakdowns, reactions, all live. We always say it over here: do not watch alone, watch along, because fundamentally, these things should be enjoyed in community.
Exactly.
Not on their own.
Love that saying. Don't watch alone, watch along. And let's get Daniel FIFA. Let's get his predictions in, as I did for George. He says Volkanovski, Moreno, Duplessis, Bo Nickal, and Turner. So he's gone.
A lot of Dricus in the chat.
Yeah, there's a lot
of Dricus.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Am I missing something?
You know what I mean?
Am I missing something?
Bobby Knuckles is going to come out like, y'all must have forgot. You must have forgot. But it's been a minute, but the guy is still incredibly dangerous, in my opinion. All right. Cool. Guys, it's time to say goodnight. Thanks for joining us for the full event. And George wants to stream all. You just set up Big Brother in the house and just record us all night, all day round. I'll barely be here.
That'd actually be quite funny. Obviously, we'll have a camera in the rooms, and do you know when the lights come on in a Big Brother house?
Yeah.
He likes to come on.
We need a voiceover. You need a voiceover for it. That's what makes it. The voiceover makes it.
Yeah, that would be quality.
Jordan will do it. He's good at voiceovers.
Live.
Wouldn't even attempt it.
Yeah, I don't want to attempt it. I don't want to embarrass myself. But yeah, I don't even know what I was going to say, but I was going to say something. But yeah, I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Guys, you have been absolutely amazing. Thanks for joining myself and Ash for this whole breakdown. Love you lots. Keep it real. Stay chill. And don't forget to be right back here on Saturday where we'll be going through the whole card, or the main event, of course, that is, for UFC 290. Peace, love, and I said it wrong way around.
Chicken grease.
Yep, good night.